think that's the sound, or really close to the one that has been used on One Step Closer. So today I'm going through a little bit of like the ways how I approach to get a sound from my guitar covers, or especially like with a little bit more like a budget-friendly option to get the same sound really fast that is close to the original ones. And maybe you can also use that for building your own songs and have that unique guitar sound in a way. So I thought it may be interesting to see what type of guitar sound we are able to get with this PRS SECE24 standard satin guitar that is still the cheapest SE line guitar, which is I think around $500 or euros. It's pretty much the same once it's being imported to Europe or Nordics. I bought this in June and been loving this guitar a lot. But besides the guitar, I've been using Focusrite Scarlett. It's like Generation 2, but I think you can get like Generation 1 for a lot cheaper price. So, that again reduces the gap to get this guitar sound. So this guitar, Focusrite, and then I'm using Neural DSP-14 Cali Suite, and I think it's still below 100 euros. So I think in overall the budget is still below 1k with this gear. Of course you need a computer, but I think it's kind of still a standard in today's world to own some kind of computer. There are still like free recording softwares that you can use this plugin with. So I think it's in general easier to get this guitar sound than like 10 or 20 years ago. So the guitar sound that I chose to represent this like high gain tone, it's called Gen X High. And what I like with this guitar sound is that it's still like really high gain. But also there is a lot of room in it. It's not too much gain to like push the clarity out from the chords. Like for example, this. Like you can hear each note here, and it's still like this punchy in a way that it's not like ice pick hitting your ear. It's an ice pick in a quite pleasant way still that pushes through the mix. And I think this sound works really well with the octave stuff as well. If you want to do a little bit of like the chord stuff and a little bit of chord melodies that I showed as an intro, that works fine. Also, the riffs are working with the same sound really well, and I don't feel that you need to add a more distortion to be able to have this nice saturation and all the good stuff for the lead stuff for the riffs. Like, for example, this A Place for My Head riff works really well. And then the modern riffs, they are cool as well. Like two-phased riff works well if you dial the volume knob down to like to 5, for example. And if you want to play this like with high gain sound. It works. So that's kind of like what kind of rhythm guitar tone I would use, or distorted guitar tone I would use for being able to play this riff. It's still having enough gain that you can also control it with the volume knob. So that's why I think this is a really good guitar plugin. I'm not having any like affiliate or anything. I'm not sponsored by Neural DSP. So this is just my impressions of this guitar plugin. And then if we take a look at the clean tones, I chose this preset called Rich Clean, and then added a little bit of reverb on top of it to have a little bit more like life to it. As the preset itself, it's a little bit more on the punchier side. Like if you listen here, it is having this like semi-high hitting sound, but if you dial down the volume a little bit, like I take it to the 8 and then add a coil split, or add a little bit more, so it gets quite close to the original sound, and that was like around 9, I think, and then at the full on volume at 10, and then having still the coil split. I think that's a guitar sound still that I would probably like to use at some point with something that I write. So I think this also like inspires me to write something with this guitar sound. And yeah, it works really well with the natural harmonics as well. If I take the coil split off and then try something like, so yeah, that's kind of like how the clean tone works as well. And this guitar is also having really punchy pickups. So rolling down the volume a little bit, gives a little bit more like dynamics to the sound as well. Or you can use a lot of dynamics with these pickups too. So just something to think about if you want to like consider buying this guitar or using pickups in general. Like with volume knob you can get a lot of things out. So yeah, this was a little bit more about like building up the guitar sound in style of Linkin Park, but also like how to use like this combination of guitar and pickups and the plugin. So there are multiple ways where to go with this foundation of like guitar sound then, but I think this is like really good like starting point if you want to get into like finding out different guitar sounds. So yeah, that's a lot of things to digest now. So thanks a lot for watching, and see you on the next one. Bye.